Welcome back, everybody. As a matter of fact, you can applaud in the house. Everybody on camera. Bronx Loaf is a space where teens can work together to find their creative voices. And it's even written on the back of their shirts, creative voices, through poetry and prose and graphic novel. Yeah, we have Christian Clarke here, co-founder, director, and Laura Mercogliano. We welcome you guys to the show.
Thank
and in the
you.
front,
Thank you.
of course, Bronx Loaf, and in the back,
Yeah, the voice of the city.
Voice of the city.
Voice of the city.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to send us, maybe lace up the whole crew with
Absolutely.
some T-shirts. No, I'm kidding.
Sure.
So tell us about the wonderful thing that you guys are doing with your organization.
Bronx Loaf is a free week-long creative writing conference for New York City teens, grades 8 through 12. And our creative writing workshops are led by professional working authors. We have poetry, prose, graphic novel, memoir, essay. And we're 6 years old, start officially this summer.
Yeah, for the past 6 years, we've served over 300 kids from about 100 different public, private, and charter schools.
Great, yeah. I like it. I like the work that you guys do. Because kids need to know, you know. Adults need to know, too.
Right.
Put it all together. You know, there are a lot of people here that want to sit down and write a book and want the know-how.
Right.
Want the writing experience. But they can send their child over to your place, because you take children 8 through 12, or grades 8 through 12, and they can go, the youngsters can go home and teach their parents.
Absolutely.
What do you have there?
So at the end of every summer conference, we publish a collection of the work that we do at the conference. And our anthology is called Breaking Bread. And this is our first one that we ever did right here. And the cover is designed by the students themselves. And this is the one we did last year. And once it's done, we publish it. And we have a publishing party in the fall. And all the kids reconvene. And last fall, we did it at the New York Poets Cafe, which was, it felt very symbolic. It was like we were inducting our students into the writing legacy of New York City, which of course, you know, is a New Yorkers is a mecca for New York City writing.
Sure. How did you guys come up with this idea? This is great.
Well, 6 summers ago, I worked up at a prestigious writing conference called Bread Loaf. It's up in the Green Mountains of Vermont, and I wasn't a writer there. But I was working there, and I thought, okay, if this is, you know, I see how this is all operating. If this is good enough for Vermont, I think this is good enough for the Bronx. So Bread Loaf morphed into Bronx Loaf. And later, about 8 months later in the spring, we had our first ever conference. I think we had 15 students. We did over 2 days. And then Laura got involved, and now we have
This year, 50 students coming.
How did you hear about it, Laura?
Well, I worked at a school in the South Bronx with Christian, which is where we actually hold the writing conference. It's called the Bronx Academy of Letters. I came and I observed the program, and I was just blown away by just seeing the community that had been created and how excited the students were about it. And I wanted to get involved. And then we got married, too.
Yeah, there you go. It's hold on together.
Then we got married.
Hey, we both write. Did you write him a love note, or did you write her a love letter?
A love poem.
A love
that was
poem, yeah.
published, Yes.
So tell us about the poems and the graphic novels and all the works that you guys do.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you can even see, like, we include actual graphic, the kids create their own mini graphic novels that we put in here. And this anthology itself, it's broken into poetry, memoir. We have a lot of fantasy fiction writers. And so they bring their work with them. They work with professional authors. We have Amy Ewing, who is a New York Times bestselling author. Dave Roman's a bestselling graphic novelist. Noel Quinones is from the Bronx. He's a poet. Mercy Tullis Bakari is a poet. And they work with each of these one-on-one and in small groups.
Wow. Yeah.
And they get a lot of great feedback. They work on their piece throughout the week, and then by the end they have like a really incredible piece of writing that they can then publish. We've had kids who won scholarships for the Scholastic Art and Writing Contest using the work they've created at the conference. So
just add to it, right?
add to it, keep going with it. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. So where do you want to go with this?
That's a great question. I think we would obviously love to get more students, draw them from New York City. We'd love to offer a second week if we could. We'd like to even expand to work with grade school level students. We even talked about taking it to other cities.
Yeah.
What are some of the cities we've talked about?
We were talking about Chicago, LA, New Orleans.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Clarke, say hello to my little friend.
Hello, little friend.
Hello.
Ask for what you want.
If you are a student out there, grades 8 through 12, and you love to express yourself through writing, through graphic novel, through poetry, through playwriting, it doesn't matter. We're the place for you. Bronx Loaf is the place for you. And if you want to support a program like Bronx Loaf, you can go through the Foundation for Letters, which is our nonprofit sponsor, and you can donate to them, and then we'll have hopefully enough resources to continue this program forever.
Yeah. Forever, ever?
Forever, ever. Forever, ever.
So you go to what website? BronxLoaf.org?
BronxLoaf.org. You can follow us on Instagram at officialBXLoaf. I think that's just about it. You can email us at bronxloaf@gmail.com.
All right, there you go. Give them a big round of applause, everybody. Great job, great work, you guys. Christian Clarke, director and founder, and Laura Mercogliano-Clarke, co-director, and husband and wife.
Yeah.
All right. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. I'd like to thank all of our guests, you, for tuning in and checking it all out. And if you missed any part of today's show, well, you can tune into the recablecast of Open at 5 and 10 p.m. or watch anytime on the web at bronxnet.org, or you can catch an all-new episode Wednesday at 10 a.m. with our host, Darren Jaime. For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day. We love you all. Peace.